Welcome to Show Me Your News, the pinnacle for delivering and debating the gaming news that matters the most to you.
Rumor-filled gossip, hardware blunders, or upcoming releases.
If it relates to video games, we want to talk about it.
I am Yoko, and I am ready for the North American International Auto Show.
I am super, and I think I got like 10 or 11 hours of sleep.
Oh, that's nice.
I hate you. I'm Tony,
Amazing.
and I didn't because I've been working in the worst weather like ever this week.
You've been working constantly, you've been sick, and you had people wondering where you were for the Show Me Your News Game of the Year awards, and that was just unfortunate timing.
I felt horrible, but you're like, here's your lines. I'm like, I'm working like 10 hours all week, every day. I can't.
Yeah, we tried. So we did it, our car coming off the show, the big Game of the Year awards show, and it feels like every year, oh, I can do it. We're going to do better this year, and it's still so much work. It is so much work. I think it turned out well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost Tony there for a second, so.
Oh.
Tony's having trouble with his internet.
On top of everything else today, we've got the gang back together, and
Maybe.
Tony's having internet troubles. So, anyway, we are part of the Show Me Your News network at showmeyournews.com, and our top stories today for episode 151 of the podcast on January 11th, 2014. First big show of 2014. We start with our gaming resolutions. We talk about our 5 games or series that we'd hope to complete as much as possible by the end of the year, see how well we did, and then make new resolutions for the upcoming year. We get into what are you playing, games you've been playing recently, headlines, Zelda, and King Dedede in Smash Brothers 2 character updates. And they seem to be in unpredictable order, but we'll talk about that and what may be new with them. Computer entertainment show, consumer electronics show, let's try that again.
Yeah.
In Las Vegas. We've got PlayStation news and Valve news as well. The hilarity of the week this week is a sports team that is playing video game music in the arena. Got some stories in our story pool, games that are out recently. We get in our soapbox and talk about YouTube videos that we recommend.
Dude, did you see Michigan State doing that yes chant?
I did see that. I was considering sending that to you.
I was so happy. It's funny, before the show we were like only talking sports. And like any topic that's springing to my head was like, oh, did you see Silva break his ankle in that UFC fight? But it's like, it's a video game show. I can't. Oh my God, dude. Being in B-dubs for that.
Oh,
being in B-dubs for that during the slow-mo in just a room, just like
and everybody lost the 150
guys.
Everyone,
just 150 guys just going, oh!
Oh man, that was disgusting.
It was crazy.
I wish I had seen it.
Well, guys, it's been a couple months since we've had a show with the three of us, so it's good to be back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good to be podcasting again. I think
I'm excited.
we get to talk about our gaming.
You sound excited.
I'm eating too.
I know.
Time is.
Excited, man. I'm so excited.
What is a good sandwich?
He eats when he's excited.
I do.
When we talk about our gaming resolutions, we're going over our 2013 list first, and I will start. Last January we talked about games that we were hoping to play as much of as possible, aim to beat at least, try to play as much of as possible. And I had Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, which I beat. Tales of Symphonia, which well, it's true. No, I didn't beat it. I got to Shadow Queen. That's right. I got to Shadow Queen, and then I'm like, well, that was difficult, and I got so far and lost, and it's a long battle. And,
It's a long battle.
And so I just like, I'm going to watch it and get on to it. So, but I did play through a lot of it.
I'll give it to you, but on a technicality. Like, there's an asterisk there.
I appreciate it. I'm like the steroid users, and if they were in the Hall of Fame, asterisks there. Okay. Tales of Symphonia, I had pushed it back because I thought I was going to do the Chronicles HD version, and now I'm starting to reconsider that.
Why's that?
It's dropping next year.
It's coming out in the end of February, and I already have the GameCube version of Tales of Symphonia. Like, why shouldn't I just play the original? Do I need the HD remake? Is it really going to be worth it, and then plus
It's
the Wii
it's gonna be
version.
pretty.
Well, that's debatable. I think the only main thing is that this is what is it? A remaster, not a remake.
Right.
So it's
Exactly,
like
yeah.
it's gonna have some of the cool stuff from Japan's PS2 release. I think.
I think it's also going to have the Japanese, the voice credits, voice lines.
That's good for
If
2, I
you,
think, because I heard
Yeah.
2's voice wasn't as good.
Oh God,
But
yeah.
I mean, I'm
just-
going to be buying a lot of games this year, and I think I might as well just save myself the money and actually just play the original Symphonia. So pushing that back to this year, I didn't touch it last year, so that was a fault there. Devil May Cry franchise, I beat DMC, the new one, and then watched the others. So I say that counts. I'll have that work. And then Banjo-Kazooie, I beat. And Super Mario Brothers 3 and World failed terribly at 3 during our
Yeah.
anniversary show,
It
and
was
then
something, man.
did not try World. So I get 3 out of 5. Could have been better, but not too bad. Super, what were yours last year?
Mine was I didn't even remember half of that, but Dead Space 3, I did play and beat. Gears of War Judgment, I didn't even try. Once I heard it was just like not even a thing that was good, I was kind of
I
like,
didn't
you
hear
know,
anything
just-
about it after it came out.
I just heard that like it didn't have really a story. It was just like these weird CPU horde mode things all the time.
I'm sorry,
like
what?
Horde modes.
Horde Mord? Yes, thank you.
And while I love Horde Mode, it's just not something that I thought would contain the main game. I wanted to, so I think I'm just gonna look up the cutscenes online and leave it at that.
Probably for the best.
BioShock Infinite, like I said, I was gonna play. Awful game. But I did play it and I did beat it.
We beg to
Dead-
differ on that. Listen to Superfluous.
Yeah. We had a lot of differing, and you know what didn't win a whole lot of awards?
Deadpool.
Yeah, both that and Deadpool. That got pulled from digital marketplaces already.
Mm-hmm.
But that was covered in the 2013 recap mini edition Show Me Your News.
That's right. Did you get to play that one, though, Deadpool?
I did not, and I don't think I will, unless, I end up going somewhere and they have it, and I'm just kind of like, can I just play this for a little bit?
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, and last one was, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I figured I'd say a Wii U title, which I did play a couple Wii U titles.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That counts.
Main one was Super Mario 3D World.
good. We beat you.
And
Right.
we beat you. So, I beat one, and or maybe I didn't really beat one, asterisk. You guys didn't pop my damn bubble.
It
Well, you-
counts. It counts.
You
Floating.
contributed.
Floats into the screen, floats out. Isn't seen for the rest of the credits.
Nope.
I felt so sad.
That was
Yeah.
a booger.
So you get
So,
3 out of 5, too.
3 out of 5.
Tony, what about you?
Well, I had The Walking Dead, which, oh my god, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I did that. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about 2 later. I have Mass Effect Trilogy, which that just is not going to happen. It's too much. I mean, maybe one day, if I've just got like a really big lull for a few months, I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
So
But
it's too big of a goal to set for yourself.
Mm-hmm. I had South Park, and that's not my fault.
No, that is not your fault.
No.
Watch that 3-parter they did, though. It was good. Final Fantasy VII, which I didn't get to. I really need to just sit down and play like 7, 8, 9. They're starting to re-release them on Steam, too, and they look really good.
Yeah.
I know 7's looked a lot better, and like that too, which isn't a big deal, but it looks a lot better. The music was redone, the loading screens and the menus a lot faster. And WWE 13, which I have found the problem with that is, since they do them yearly, it's like Madden, where I don't want to pay the $50 for them, but I don't want the one the year before, because then it doesn't have guys in it.
Yep.
So I don't think I'll ever play one of those.
So you didn't get to that one either?
Mm-mm.
Tony is 1 for 5.
1 for 5.
Yep.
Oh, that's awful.
Yep.
But it was a
Man.
good one you got to with The Walking Dead. It's a
Yeah.
Oh my God.
2012
Oh
game
my
of the
God.
year for Show Me Your News.
Don't regret that one.
As far as our 2014 lists, here we go. I'll start at number 5. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. Bought it at the beginning of the year. Did not get to it. It's Miyazaki. It's got some Pokemon gameplay. One of the best JRPGs of the year.
I heard The Simpsons are doing a Miyazaki episode.
They did make Otto as Cat Bus.
I saw that.
That was amusing. But yeah, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch will be my number 5 game that I'll get to this year. Number 4, I gotta teach myself the ways of classic Metroidvania. So I'm gonna say Super Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night for number 4.
I think you'll have trouble with Super Metroid.
I think so.
I don't
I
know.
don't-
Probably.
I just watched someone beat it in 45 minutes. It'll be fine.
Not those speedrunners. They just make it so easy.
That's
All
one of those.
flash and bang.
Oh my God. That's one of those I didn't grow up with. So I went back to it. I had trouble and I never found like there's stuff you can miss real easy, I feel like. Like there's no like, hey, you should go there and get that.
I should really just kind of sit down and just play it all in one day. I might do it today because I think for some reason Project M has the masterpiece code, which gets rid of limits. I don't know if they got rid of that code recently, but it was on 2.6. So I'm thinking of like maybe I'll go through Super Metroid, like just boot up Project M and then
That's
just
a good
go
idea.
straight, and then go boot up Super Metroid and play through it that way.
I didn't know they did that. That's really cool.
Yeah. So a lot of people tend to forget that they have all those games on there. That
All right.
that
The
code
masterpieces.
that code is so easy to come by. I'm pretty sure it's still in Project M. I hope they didn't get rid of it for 3.0 or 3.01.
Whoa.
I'll get that later.
Yep. Number 3, game I didn't give too much of a chance last year, and it was really good, but just a lot of things going on when I was playing it. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh yeah, dude.
One of the
Sick
highest
that.
rated games of last year. I played 45 minutes to an hour of it, and I enjoyed it. And I just, had to stop at a certain point, and other games came up. I think Kingdom Hearts was around that same time, so like, I'll play Kingdom Hearts, and I just forgot about GTA. So, played that. Number 2, claimed to be one of the greatest GameCube games of all time. There's a HD remaster for PS3, and that would be Resident Evil 4. I'm not saying 5 and 6 yet, because I don't know if I'll necessarily like 4, but I think I owe it to myself.
Do you know anything like about Resident Evil?
Yes, I know things.
Okay, 4 is good in the sense that you don't really need to know things. 5 and 6 go back to all.
Right. Yeah, they kind of go back to
Right.
the originals. No,
My only experience is watching someone run away from a boulder, and 2 best friends / 2 best sisters play.
Yeah, I think I owe it to myself to play one of those, best games of all time, echelon sort of titles. And then number 1, because I passed on Tales of Symphonia, I'm going to up the stakes this year, and I will say at least 3 Tales of games.
All right. That would be probably Symphonia, hopefully Vesperia, and ended off with Zillia.
All right, so here's the deal. I have Symphonia. I
Okay.
have Abyss for PS2.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
And one of my other ones was I'm between Vesperia and Azilia.
I loved
so-
Vesperia. Vesperia's got by far the best protagonist. And it's just a very solid game in general. I had a friend play with me once because you can play with other people,
Yes.
which makes it a fantastic run through. But he just sort of left at the end of the day, and I saw him again 2 weeks later. He's beaten the game. He went out and bought it and played it all through with his brother. They're in the middle of their second run through
Wow.
in the unknown dungeon. I'm like, I didn't think you liked the game that much. Even I haven't done that. I haven't even bought the game. I just rented
nice.
it because I'm poor. But It's just Vesperia is so good, and if you're not, I mean, it's got. Have you really played a Tales of game?
No, that's why I gotta. That's why it's my top
They're
spot.
they're a lot like Smash.
That's what I hear.
They're all the controls and all that are a lot like Smash. You've got your specials, which are B neutral, B up, B down, B to the side, and like all your regular attacks can be changed by which direction you hold as you press them. So your combos can change. You can have a different combo every single time depending on which direction you put the control stick.
Yeah, and a real-time RPG sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, it's so fun.
So
I will say I think Vesperia is the prettiest one to look at.
Well, Zillia's out now, so.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see when I get there, but I know the first two I'll do will be Symphony and Abyss. So
Right.
quickly recap them: Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch, Super Metroid, and Castlevania Symphony of the Night for that Metroidvania experience, Grand Theft Auto 5, Resident Evil 4, and at least 3 Tales of games for 2014. Super.
All right. All right. I'm finally gonna try and get on the Telltale The Walking Dead bandwagon.
Yeah.
Bandwagon? All right. But I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I really want to play on the PC. Obviously, we all know why that isn't that much of a possibility. But I also don't want to. I also don't want to play on the 360. So
Why not?
I heard there was some problems with it.
I think if you do digitally, it won't be as bad.
Yeah, you won't have a problem digitally.
Just don't do the disc version.
Okay, well, I have a lot of plans for this year, so who knows where it'll end up by the end of the year. Maybe I'll just, be able to down the line. Next one is actually stolen from Tony's last year.
I gotta ask. Are you talking just season 1? Season 1 and season 2? What are we thinking?
We're calling season 1 right now, but by the time I actually get to it, season 2 should be done and over with, so it's probably gonna be both.
Okay. But we'll just put season 1 for right now. Okay.
Right.
I wish it was all out now.
You should just put series down. That way it'll be easiest. Next one, South Park: Stick of Truth. It'll be out this year, probably.
Better?
Yeah, it's basically done by now.
Butters is skeptical. If you saw the end of the trilogy episodes they did.
Oh, but yeah, it's I'll probably South Park: Stick of Truth. I only have this one on here because I thought I would really play it when it came out, but now I'm just kind of I'm really not the biggest South Park fan, but this looks kind of fun. So
looks Mario RPG-ish.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's gonna be a little bit more fun than I'm gonna give it credit for. This one, it seems like it's like an obvious thing, but I don't have a Wii U, so Smash Wii U. I know I'm gonna get Smash 3DS, but Smash Wii U is probably gonna take a while for me to get and play and go through their single player mode or whatever they have.
And you'll just be sticking with Project M for so long. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Not really joking.
Not joking really at all. Depending, because, this is going to be the time where I really don't have any way of getting a Wii U before Smash 4, I don't think. So, when it comes down to it, it's going to be I have Project M, and it is fun. And I'm going to be sitting by on the sidelines while everyone's kind of this game's alright. Or, this game's amazing. Or, this game is great, but the competitive aspect is low.
Even if the competitive aspect is low, I still look forward to getting as many trophies and stuff as I can before I get sick of it. I always enjoy that. Even with Brawl, I'd play it for hours. Just I gotta go through adventure mode with all the characters and stupid stuff.
Which is great, and I had my time with Brawl, but eventually I just got sick of it. I tried doing competitive, and I got sick of it. And then PM came around, and Brawl Plus came around, and
Brawl Plus.
But honestly, the more competitive a game is, the longer lasting it is. I don't think I ever stopped playing Melee the whole 7 years between its release and Brawl. So every time I look back, I was I just didn't stop playing Melee, and technically I still haven't stopped playing Melee. And I have completely stopped playing Brawl. So
yeah, I have too. If it's not M, I don't really want to play it.
Exactly. There's just so much more fun to be had. Everything feels good. The number 2 would be kind of tied to the last one because I need a Wii U. The Wonderful 101. really looked interesting. I really want to try it out. This isn't a beat, though. This is definitely a try. Because this looks like I'll either spend all of my time or drop in under an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Or probably
Winner
3 hours.
of
I don't think it's that long though.
winner of best new IP at the Show Me News Game of the Year awards.
Yo! And number 1. I have not beaten a single Banjo game.
I'm so happy.
So I figured, like, I have played them. I enjoyed them. But the times I played them were I rented it and got stuck with Banjo-Tooie. Banjo-Kazooie I never really played until I played it on an emulator, and then I was playing with a keyboard controls. So eventually I just gave up in what is it, Gobi Desert?
Yeah.
Ali.
Yeah. I gave up there, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, I just can't. I just can't.
I don't know if that'd be a good thing to play when I'm around because I can help you, but also I'll just because I kind of speedrun those, so I'd be like going crazy.
Yeah, Mister like
you were a
top 5.
help when I was playing, so.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
I'm not going to get all the jiggies. I'm going to probably just, get enough to.
In one, you kind of need to.
Yeah.
Like you kind of can only miss like 4 or something.
Oh well, probably end up doing it anyway.
The first game.
I got all the jiggies.
He did.
Oh,
Yes.
You gotta
Okay.
you gotta answer the call here.
Fine, I'll get all the jiggies.
2 you can miss 20, and it's much more understandable to so because there's a lot more backtracking.
Ah. Okay, well,
So
I don't know.
quickly recap them.
number 5, Telltale's The Walking Dead. Number 4, South Park: The Stick of Truth. Number 3, Smash Wii U. Number 2, Wonderful 101. And number 1, the Banjo series.
Banjo series. Oh, I gotta make sure to write that one down. Now Tony.
Not including the GBA title.
I had no idea there's a GBA title. Tony,
I'm cutting in and out like horribly, and I hate it. What was the GBA title you were talking
Banjo,
about?
apparently.
Don't play nuts and bolts either.
I
They don't do that.
actually own that game.
I do too. I'm very upset by that fact. I'll go through mine real quick. I got South Park Stick of Truth because damn it, like that's gonna happen.
This year.
That's my only like definite one though, probably. And just 3 I just missed at the end of last year just for money. Like I'm waiting for them to go down in price, but I will probably get to them. Is Beyond Two Souls because pretentious ass storytelling, so I'm down. Batman Arkham Origins I just kind of went by to, which I heard was okay, so I definitely want to play that because Batman.
Here's the Batman.
And
Hotman.
You're Batty.
Hotman.
And Assassin's Creed 4 because and that's a thing too where like Yoko's was singing his praises in the last episode and I'm like I'm sure it's fun, I just don't care like initially, and that's like hard for me to like get past that.
I think
like,
when you get in the
pay money.
first city, you'll be like, oh yeah, this is what.
I'm
this is what I
sure, but
needed.
it's like the paying money and getting it to my house part is the part I'm like, I don't know, man, I don't care.
That whole thing.
My crazy one that I've thrown on here, which it'd be a long shot, but I threw Lost Odyssey, which I don't even know if you guys have heard of that.
Yeah, yes I have.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's made by the Final Fantasy creator, and it's like a Xbox 360 game, and part of me wants to hunt that down.
That was the time when Xbox 360 was trying to be the place for JRPGs.
To
Didn't
be
work.
fair,
Xbox in Japan.
yeah. To be fair, they got Vesperia.
Yeah.
It did. Only
And
do
that was
later.
fantastic. Yeah, I know, right?
Over there, at least. I'm
Yeah,
kinda
only in
pissed about
Japan.
that.
Oh god, there's nothing more that pisses me off more about the Vesperia for PS3 in Japan. Two playable characters that you don't get, and a whole bunch of story and extra stuff. They keep doing that.
I know. But usually they like came out over here afterwards. I think that was one of the ones that didn't.
No, they generally don't come back over here.
There was a few. I don't remember. Like, there's this game called Eternal Sonata.
Yep.
Okay,
like-
yeah.
There was a few. I don't think it's Tales directly, but there's a few I remember doing that, and my friend was pissed because he already had bought them.
Right.
Lost Odyssey. There was a few Xbox had a like Katamari exclusive game too. I think.
Really?
Just trying to get Japan. Yeah. Didn't work.
Yeah, no, no.
All right, we got to go through our what are you playing quickly. So, Super, what have you been
Uh,
playing?
I want to say Project M. Really, it's kind of the lab for Project M. I've been working a lot more on my tech skills so I can be better in tournament because that's probably my weakest bit right now is that I end up performing a move that I have no intention of doing just because I didn't do it right.
Hmm.
Like I missed an L cancel and I started inputting what I'm doing next, but I missed the L cancel, so instead of turning around and F tilting, I started jabbing in place in the wrong
Oh, dude, I
direction.
do that all the time.
Right.
Let's
But
just call it
that's
mind games.
Yeah,
oh my
right.
god. But not good in a competitive scene. So I need to start getting really good at that. I'm really bad at wave dashing, at least consistently, so got to get that down. So I've been in the lab. And that's all.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
That is it. I have not had time to play any games since really the Show Me Your News Game of the Year award, so
Tony,
Tony is currently experiencing technical difficulties.
I would assume that he is. All right, I'll go next. Guacamelee. It is a Metroidvania style game based in a magical luchador Mexican themed world. It's for PlayStation 3 and Vita and also on PC. Very, very fun game. Definitely is very self-reflective about its, the tropes in the Metroidvania kind of games, whether it's the different, upgrades of weapons and items and moves. Even you get these moves from Chuzo statues, which are
Yeah.
shaped exactly like Chozo statues. And there's also just a lot of meta humor in there, with different posters are in the background, with Mario and Luigi and some Spanish phrase that would be like plumber brothers or whatever. There's even a strong bad poster, if you believe it or not, a strong
Oh
bad
dear.
poster in that game. Short game, 5 to 6 hours. Really fun though, really enjoyable. I played it on Vita and I really enjoyed that. Guacamelee. Also
I
played
really
Rep.
don't consider 5 to 6 hours to be short anymore. Short seems to be like 3 to 4 these days.
Yeah, that's true. But
I wish
people,
more. I wish more games were 4 to 6 hours.
you
Honestly,
and me both. I that's one of the reasons I played it, just to get through it. Republique is a iPad game.
he said poop.
Eh, poob.
You plebeian.
Republique is an iPad game. It's has a lot of good voice acting talent. David Hayter, Jennifer Hale. The voice actor's name.
So just Metal Gear.
Who does Cyborg on Teen Titans?
Kiefer
Carrie Payton.
Yeah, he's in
Kiefer
that.
Shut up.
Sutherland.
Oh, it hurts, bro.
Yeah, Carrie Payton's in that game too. It's a game where you're playing as this cipher who can jump between cameras in this sort of lab sort of place, and you have to help this girl escape. Kind of funky controls, especially on iPad when you're trying to scroll and touch to move the camera. It was a little weird. I played it for about 45 minutes or an hour. Don't know if I'll be getting back to it, but it's interesting to see what they're trying to do on iPad now, and it's, pretty decent graphics for that platform. Then that was what I played in 2013. Then Game of the Year happened, and so now that show is over, I'm trying to knock out a lot of these shorter PC titles that I have. So in 2014, I started with Gone Home. We had Darker. I talked about that a couple episodes ago.
Right.
That's a 2-hour-long game that is made by former developers from the BioShock series. And so they kind of took the approach, what if we kind of just did essentially the audio log part of BioShock, the storytelling through artifacts, and just do that, no action. So you play, a 21-year-old girl who,
Actually, sounds much better than Bioshock.
yeah,
Yeah.
no first-person shooter aspect, so there you go.
Yeah, that's great.
Uh-huh.
So you play a young girl who's come home from a year abroad, and nobody is at home. Your parents aren't home, your sister's not home, and you have to kind of explore the house and discover clues and audio logs that are left behind to discover what happened with your family. Really interesting. I kind of agree with Darkrai that it kind of builds to one thing, and then overall it doesn't fully come through with the themes that it's trying to explore. But it's still an enjoyable game, I thought. It's neat to see that kind of storytelling take place, and you can't beat a 2-hour-long game. I think it was well done. I don't think it would be the game of the year level quality that some game journalists had it at for their personal lists, but I enjoyed it. BioShock Infinite Burial at Sea Part 1, that's the DLC. Part 2 is coming later this year. That's going to be the more Elizabeth-focused stealth action game.
Might play that.
But this is more of the same with Booker is in Rapture with Elizabeth's help, or at least a more sultry, seductive, femme fatale sort of Elizabeth.
It makes me feel things, let's just say that.
Did you play it?
No, but that Elizabeth rendition,
that Elizabeth.
That's pretty attractive, I'm not going to lie.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It takes place in Rapture the eve or the day before everything goes to hell. And it's kind of more for fans of both games. Although for as little as I played of BioShock, I still picked up on pretty much everything. As long as you know the spoilers in the first BioShock, you'll be fine. And then if you know the story of BioShock Infinite, it's not too surprising what happens. Though it does end on a definite ending, which for a Part 1 is certainly interesting. But nothing.
So no one has to buy Part 2.
Well, Part 2 should be pretty different, but it's going to be interesting to see what they'll do. But it's definitely easy to predict what happens if you know how BioShock Infinite ends.
How long was it?
It was 2.5 hours. So some would consider that short for a DLC mission.
I'm sure you can go back, replay, get better weapons and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, definitely. There's one new vigor power, there's one new weapon, and that's about it as far as new with the gameplay. The splicers they'll be a little more erratic than the enemies in BioShock Infinite, so that makes it a little more difficult. But it's Rapture and it's BioShock, that setting. But yes, Dad Elizabeth. And then this morning I played The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 1. And those who finished Season 1 know who you play as for this season, which is a very good choice. Very interesting to play as that character.
Don't be vague about it.
You're Clementine.
Yeah. And it's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
I want to tag team this with you a little bit, and I don't want to dance around.
Okay, all right.
The main character, at least.
Yeah, you play as Clementine, and it starts off a little slower than I would have expected, because certain things happen, and there's definite mission that you have to go about, but there are a lot of comparisons to the first episode of the first season in terms of you meet a group of travelers, the decisions you have to make. What did you think of episode 1?
I really, really liked it. I really liked Clementine too. How much time passed? Maybe a year or two?
There was a 16-month jump in the game, but I would say definitely only a few months.
Man, just playing as Clementine was great because you can pretty much shape her as you want. I had a big thing with the first game. I probably talked about it here that I couldn't be like a complete jerk when I wanted to because there's a little girl with me all the time, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to influence her incorrectly. But with this, and me and Super have talked about it, you can make Clementine like a helpless girl if you want, or you can just make her like a badass.
Yep.
And you can be sassy sometimes, and those choices are so fun to me. Because there'll be people where I'm like, I don't want to be nice to this person, and I can do it, and I feel so good about it.
It's a definite shift if you do, pick that, badass route, hardened survivor. It's a definite shift than what she was in the first season. It just shows, what she went through and how that changed her. Or you could definitely have her play the victim. I gotta say though, The Walking Dead does have its surprising moments throughout the game, and how it started. In the bathroom,
my god,
that was It's like, yep, we're right back in the thick of it.
I don't even know. There's a part at the beginning that was like, whoa, but I think I know what you're talking about, and that was just not a good time.
But yeah, very good. You gotta play the first season though. Like that's
definitely.
That's pretty much a must.
They said 400 days tied into it, and I like had to go redo 400 days because I didn't play it the right way. So
I had no connection to 400 days yet.
No, that's what I was gonna say.
Well, was it supposed to in the first episode? I think maybe in the later ones it might, but
no, yeah, it probably will later. Oh, I did want to say the choice at the end was the most. I was like, I don't know,
yeah,
like what, and results at the end, like when they show the users, like what other users do. It was like when I did, it was like 50.50%. So I'm like, wow, people didn't know what to do either.
Mm-hmm.
There's no clear cut, which is cool, but it made me so like, oh, I should redo it. Like, but I'm like, oh, I shouldn't. I'm fighting with myself. I did actually go to the point before it, so I will have to redo it again before episode 2 comes out.
Now this is walking a fine line here because of Super. You haven't played the first episode, but there was the last tease of up next next time on The Walking Dead. There's a line that Clementine says where I thought you were dead. And it's got me thinking, like, I would not be surprised if it's one of the characters from season 1 whose death was more implied. That, like, we never saw them dead.
My friends of the who are fans of the show tell me if you don't see it, they're probably alive. You need to see them die.
Yeah. So, I think they might want you to think that it's your companion that you were traveling with at the start of the episode, but I think it's more going to be one of the characters whose death was more implied at the end.
Yeah,
that he found
I know
out
exactly what
somehow.
you're talking about. He's my favorite character, so I'm happy about that.
I'm putting my bet on that one.
Hope so. That's
what I've been playing. Tony?
I'm still playing Sonic Dash, man. It's fun. If you don't have it, get it, because it's just a good time. I really enjoy it.
I feel about just the runner, games.
Yeah, I just like it. Well, I wrote them down. Season 2 Walking Dead, yep, great. I played a little bit of DuckTales because, man, I was waiting for it to go on sale forever. And I like almost impulse bought it a few times, and then like I remember specifically not buying it one weekend, and then the next day it was $8. I'm like, yes.
This is the remastered?
It's the remaster, and it's got voice acting and everything, but I did on normal, and I got my butt kicked on the boss, so I need to redo it on easy, I guess.
Well,
I didn't get too far. I'll go back to that, because, I mean, I've had this shiny new Wii U hooked up that I got for Christmas, so I've been playing a lot of those games.
Yay!
I messed with New Super Mario Bros. U a bit, and I want to say this about Wii U. It really bothers me that you can't turn the gamepad off.
Yeah.
It would be my primary go-to console, but like I'm like, well, that's wasting battery. And like every time it's on and I'm not using it.
You just gotta set it in the charger.
Which I want to say this too. Yeah, I guess so, but and don't lithium batteries like screw up if you don't wait till them to be like completely dead before you.
Kind of.
Yeah, so like that bums me out.
But Nintendo's been selling more of an extended battery.
I've seen that. Yeah. The gamepad is actually very comfortable. I will say that, and like a lot more than I thought. Like I really enjoyed playing with it. Like it's fine.
I still have yet to get the feel of it for certain games.
But New Super Mario Brothers U, like I'm like I just need Wiimote. I don't need. I really don't want that to be on. You can turn the screen off and say battery life, but it's just a hassle. You got like just throw it somewhere else, and it's like okay, that's on. It's just something you're thinking about, I guess. It's just like, why does that have to be on? That's, but yeah, I did New Super Mario Brothers U a bit, and I'm like, okay, I played that with you guys, so I didn't really.
Yeah.
I'll probably go through it casually at some point, but I've played Super Mario Brothers 3D World, not enough. I've just been working too much. Like I'll probably try to hit that hard Sunday or something, but it's a blast.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my favorite Marios. It's great. Like just perfectly designed to be a hodgepodge of everything. I still see things where I'm like, it's from that. One of my favorite little things is because I remember specifically them not letting you do this in 3D Land was ground pounding a block that like spit up coins like infinitely.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep coming. Like they do that in New Super Mario Brothers. You can just ground pound a block and the coins will just boop 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 boop. In 3D Land, they took that out. I don't think in Galaxy it did it even, but it's like it does it now because it's from that one Mario game. If it's from a Mario game, it'll probably work. But yeah, it's great. Great music. I can play as Luigi one player. Thank you for that. No one else has gotten any playtime. And I beat Sonic Lost World, which, oh man, I liked it, but there's some parts, man. There's some stupid, stupid parts. Not to like unleash or '06 levels by any means, but just some frustrating parts where I'm like, that level design's not good if I can't even anticipate what I'm like dying from, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a few parts where I'm like, I couldn't see. That's not fair. And just it's got a live system and lives and checkpoints like pissed me off ever since Rayman.
Yeah, Rayman was what did it for me too.
Yeah.
I mean, for Mario, like you have the infinite life, spawning, which kind of takes that away, which is great because that game's fantastic. But
yeah. The thing about Lost World 2 is the last zone kicked my ass. Like I died 50 times, and you're not supposed to have 50 lives. But I found a level. It's called Honeycomb Highway, I think. One of the checkpoints. No. It's
Did
not
he
that
become Cloud Sonic?
No. But it's like a forward running stage, and like that's the thing. Like I think the new engine's not bad, but it's like half the levels are gimmicks, Yeah. So it's kind of I don't know why they did that. But there's this part in that level where pretty much like there's a checkpoint and you can hang a hard right, and there's like 4 extra lives in a row for some reason, and I just kept getting those and running into a wall. And then I spawned right before it, and they were back. I just did that, so I had 100 lives, and then I did the last zone, and I was okay.
Good game design.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm like, I feel like I'm cheating, but they put it there, so that's not my fault.
Oh, absolutely. It's what they call an exploit.
Yep.
Sounds like they did it on purpose, to be honest.
Possibly. Man, that last stage. So the last stage is like really difficult because it's like long, and then there's like stupid bosses. Like some of the bosses are just real stupid to figure out and to do, and then you gotta fight. I don't spoilers, but you fight Eggman at the end.
No way.
It does kind of like.
Wait. So Eggman hijacked his plot back?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It actually is. Yeah, it was cool. But then he is the most pathetic boss maybe in the. He's up there, man. Like after that hard stage, and then I'm like, oh man, it's like the design of the robot's crazy, and then I like hit him a few times and he died, and I'm like, that was pathetic.
Kind of like Bowser in Mario Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
That was kind of pathetic too. Yeah.
At least the music
was like awesome though.
I like flying through space, knocking giant boulders into his face.
It felt awesome, I'll say that. Mm-hmm. Short and like easy, but especially if you hit him like right in the mouth.
Yeah.
Like, like it was great. But yeah, Lost World's worth looking at, and if you're a Sonic fan like me, you're gonna play it. So, but yeah, that's me.
Interesting. Well, we're almost 45 minutes into the show, so let's get through these headlines. We start with Super Smash Brothers. We've got 2 character announcements.
Yeah, I started with Zelda for the Show Me Your News mini edition, but it warrants talking again.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah.
And it's all about Sheik.
Yep.
It really is.
Just like the last time in Brawl, we were running about Sheik. I can't see them getting rid of Sheik.
Yeah,
but at the same time, the pose Zelda's doing is one of Sheik's poses, which is really weird.
It is strange, and I think the fact that she's still in her Twilight Princess design from the last game, and that still had Sheik, that could lend some credence to the fact that we'll still see Sheik. I would have liked to see Skyward Sword design Zelda, I guess, but at the same time, that would be another, blonde, female character, and that might have been getting a little too close.
It kind of looks like they, to me, more so with Link, that they like did Twilight Princess designs, but Skyward Sword kind of coloring.
Yeah. Yeah, I would rather the Skyward Sword design because it's really different than what it is now. I'd love to see alternate costumes.
I
Yeah.
would too.
Oh,
If
definitely.
if we could have an alternate costume with Skyward Sword Zelda, I might just main Zelda.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I'm looking through Zelda's pictures, and there's this really stupid one with Donkey Kong that.
he's just
Well,
smiling.
yeah, and she's all like, "Ew, monkey."
Just smacking him. He's like, D.
Yeah, it's great.
Although this one here, when it loads, the one with the Phantom Knight.
That's a bit interesting.
That's the one that's drawing the most attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's just an assist trophy.
I think so too.
Interesting, but then what is
That's
Zelda?
a crazy move, though.
I was gonna say,
It's
what is
not-
Zelda doing to cause that animation?
It's probably just a taunt that Sakurai is really good at taking these pictures and like
Right.
making like telling a little story. So I think it's probably just like a taunt or something.
All right. That looks like she's doing her Din's Fire.
Well,
Yeah.
possible.
Poor Fox.
Yeah, no, right? It doesn't look like it could be anything other than It doesn't look like she's actually interacting with the Phantom Knight.
Hmm.
I honestly think that it's an assist trophy. It
It's a weird
I'm just-
assist trophy.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have
It
been
is-
like my 30th choice.
actually it's a very strong choice for assist trophy because I mean it does sort of assist Link in the game. I mean you take control over it, but at the same time it just sounds like a really perfect thing to use as an assist trophy.
I don't remember it, so that probably doesn't help my case.
Right? You didn't play Spirit Tracks?
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I gotcha.
You're right.
Then you got
Uh,
Zelda probably balancing on the edge here with Rosalina, with that face.
Does this look like the face of Mercy to you?
Mm.
Dun dun dun.
I love Rosalina so far.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
do too.
Especially when you called her.
Oh yeah, I win.
Hmm.
And then you have the picture of her doing Sheik's pose. That's her brawl pose.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she just does that when she's transforming.
Maybe. Yeah, it might
Like-
be coming out of a transformation.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm like, maybe that's just her transformation. And, you know, they got her like in the middle of just before she starts doing the sparkles.
Mm.
That's possible. No, it definitely drew some attention. Good to see her back. Even Sakurai said, good to see more female characters, which I agree. It's nice to see in Smash.
Is
Oh,
it weird to you that, like, I don't know, Zelda's like, even in Melee, I didn't really, and I'm not saying I don't want female characters, but I'm like, why is Zelda a fighter?
right.
It doesn't seem to be like one of those that fits, but those Fox and Captain Falcon argument too, I guess.
Just a quick remark about the animation shown in the night. With the one with the Phantom Knight.
Yeah.
If you go to the ninth picture, she's doing the same animation. There's no Phantom Knight.
Oh.
I guess that's true.
Looks like her jab, the
Yeah.
end of her jab animation.
Oh, it's possible, yeah.
So, the one with the Phantom Knight, she's probably just going to start doing a jab, or she's coming out of the animation.
Interesting. Good point.
I'm more excited about this second character announcement.
That Donkey Kong face, though.
King's Son, Data 2?
Yeah,
That Donkey Kong face is just the best.
Yeah.
it really is like one of the best ones.
But speaking of expressions,
This is
All
that's
about the
mostly
king.
that's mostly what I wanted to talk about. He seems like the most cartoonish in his like facial animations, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's like amazing, but
I need a monster to climb on that there cubby.
mm-hmm.
you need that monster to deal with that monster, to deal with that monster, to deal with that paperweight.
That show.
I love that show's DDD so much. I don't even care.
This one actually looks like he's from that show too, with a lot of his expressions
Mhm.
The best picture is him with the hammer with
With the
against Fox.
with a no villager.
villager. You just me. Hey.
Villagers climbing on it or something. I don't know.
Oh. About to go flying, son.
A great expression on the jet hammer with
Yeah.
Fox.
I'm a little bit interested that they used the same expression for two different pictures, because the second picture is also the jet hammer.
That's true.
Fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the second picture? Like, what?
It's just
Looks
him
like-
looking at you.
Looks like he like stopped the game and like just
He stared at you.
I'm gonna beat this box, you guys. Like he just started.
Look at it.
Hijacking.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating bullets here.
Yeah.
I think it's just to show that how pink he looks in the Galaxy stage.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Like Galaxy lighting, he's so pink.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
For a second there, I thought they were finally showing us an alternate color. I'm like, no, wait, it's Galaxy.
That was like the before and after, the lying down with the Wii Fit trainer, and then.
Oh yeah,
Ah!
get fit.
That face.
He's just so much more expressive than he was in Brawl, which is great.
But a lot of the things look the same for Brawl. I mean, a lot of the same
Oh, yeah.
moves, a lot of the design.
As long as they keep that crouch in the 8th pick, I think everyone's happy.
It's all you need. Other
He doesn't
things,
even he didn't even his taunts.
other things that happen in Smash Brothers, you have trophies coming back. Again,
Mhm.
you're following the whole idea of, handheld games in the handheld game, in the handheld version, console games in the console version.
Right.
That seems to carry over. That Zelda's strong side attack, it's a tilt. I know people are trying
Yep.
to make a lot of it, but strong side attack is what they use, and the Smash community vernacular became tilt. And then this one, Tony. Wrestling.
It's wrestling.
The ropes.
Oh, the one. Yeah, I did see that. I'm like, what?
I like how he says you can use the stretchiness of the road to do a spring jump, and I'm just like, it's not really a spring jump because that's the animation for footstool.
Mm-hmm.
So
You can't pull on them to launch yourself sideways in a lariat attack, though.
that's the unfortunate bit.
I don't really care unless you can drop an elbow out of it.
Well,
that's
one
my
of the
instance.
characters might.
Which one?
I don't know. That's one of them.
I
Bowser's
think-
got different moves.
Yeah.
Just dash dance next to
Whoever
the ropes
does
and then
probably
uses
gonna
dash
end
dash.
up being whoever does will probably be my main,
Yeah.
or at least for that stage.
Here's the thing, though. Like, if you can't pull yourself, if they don't have any strange differences, this stage suddenly went from maybe viable to not tournament viable.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like
Because-
bounce between the ropes.
Not even the bounce between the ropes. It's because if the ropes don't do anything else, it looks like you hit a wall. So wall
That would
infinites and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and it's just not good.
But you
So
gotta-
unfortunately,
got a 5 count against the rope though.
yeah.
We're seeing
But,
the crowd more in this picture, and it looks like more like human characters. So I think it lends more credence to the fact that this is probably a punch-out stage. Lends more to the fact that the Little Mac rumors from very early on are probably true as a playable character.
Which I'm totally okay with. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's not the King DDD boss battle arena.
Right.
I think they'll put
Yeah.
Mike Tyson in the story mode.
I
anyone
will play
be like-
with Smash Brothers.
Would anyone like be upset with that? Because I think that'd be amazing.
Probably Mike Tyson.
Nah, they'd call him. I would hope they'd call him.
Boom, 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 boom.
They gotta play his like music over the stage from his singing career.
Rainbow Road stage.
I want that, Nintendo.
Look at that.
Don't
Look at
don't
that.
let him gloss over that.
Shy Guys. More of a
Yeah.
cruise-like stage.
Looks like it just fell off viability.
Yep.
basically.
It's Rainbow
I mean,
Road, where you go when you die.
Unless, of course, they really only hit you as hard as like Mute City from Melee.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I
Not-
mean, that really affected Fox and Falco the
Not
hardest.
Port
so-
Town and Brawl, though.
No.
And Mario,
But,
Mario Circuit
Circuit.
was just annoying.
yeah, but they didn't do much killing,
It
so
had the best music though. It made me sad.
Yeah.
we play Project M now. We can put our own music on
This
now.
is true. Yoko, this is 2 episodes ago, but I wasn't here. I really wanted to like agree with your sentiments that I thought they were just putting Kirby and Smash in that Rosalina video.
Oh, yeah. In Mario Kart.
I'm just like, are they putting Kirby and Mario Kart and then Rosalina join the brawl? I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who
No, I was totally
felt
like
that
when you,
way.
I was listening to that in my car and I'm like, yeah.
The only problem I'm having right now is just like, everyone's gonna be kind of pissed off if Kirby doesn't show up in Mario Kart 8 now.
But they said in a video. It's gonna
kind of like
happen.
Kirby was in Mario Kart 8 there, guys. It's I mean, yeah, you were actually teasing Rosalina and Luna, but you better get Kirby in there post haste.
I'm still so glad it ended up being Rosalind and Luma.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Okay.
And I still love the final picture in Data Days where he's just with both princesses. And Zelda's literally petting his head.
But please, I mean, go ahead and put Kirby in Mario Kart if you want.
Yes, please.
Moving on to the computer. God damn it, I'm doing it again.
Oh.
Consumer Electronics Show.
There you did it.
With computers.
I did it again!
Featuring computers.
The Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Just CES. We'll just call it CES.
Uh-huh.
And this is the first year in a few years that Chrysler hasn't gone. I want to go some year.
Of course.
Of course it's not.
And now that you work there, like, oh, we
Now
can't.
that I work there, and I could have seen PlayStation Now, which this is surprising that they talked about at this show. This is the backwards compatibility solution with cloud-based streaming of games. This is what Gaikai was purchased for. They talked about it at E3. Almost thought we'd have to wait until E3 to hear more about it, but no, they're looking at a summer 2014 release of this service.
Yay.
Which, that's exciting. You know, it was dropped during Kaz Hirai's keynote during CES. They get Andy House and his weird, high-pitched British voice to reveal it. But at the show, they had The Last of Us, they had Beyond Two Souls, God of War Ascension, and Puppeteer that were being demoed not only on Sony Bravia TVs, but PlayStation 3 could do this without a disc. These games are being played on PlayStation Vita, on PlayStation 4. Eventually, they're looking to do tablets and smartphones as well at a later date, though.
Which is smart. I love when companies are getting out of there like, okay, let's just give people more content everywhere. Like, we'll be better in the long run if we do that.
Yeah, not just restricting it to PlayStation devices, which is smart.
Probably not Xboxes, though.
No, probably not. It's going to start with PlayStation 3 games, it looks like. They want to eventually roll out PS1 and PS2 games, which makes sense.
PS2 makes me the most excited. That's like a crazy library.
It's a huge library. But, get the demand going first, test it. They're having a beta start at the end of this month for select users. Do it on the most graphically demanding games first, and then roll out the PS2 and PS1 games when they can. I still would not be surprised to see this having issues at launch. It feels like everything does now. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised to see issues occur here. But it's nice that it's aimed to be a summer 2014 rollout. It's good that they're doing a beta for this extended amount of time, and it looked like for what it was doing at CES, it was working. It seemed to be working well. Recommended to have a 5 megabyte per second connection. Megabit, whatever the correct term is. But 5 down, at least.
I think I have 3. I don't have enough to get a PS4 anyway, and it's only for the summer, so who knows where I might be then.
Tony, I take it you're excited about this, though.
Yeah, my dog is too, if you can hear. I'm sorry. There's something outside. A bird, pizza man, perhaps.
Is it Sam?
If it's ice cream man, I'm going to be out of here too.
Is it a dog named Sam?
I don't know, maybe. Did we ever figure out if the dog died in Call of Duty Ghosts?
I don't think it did. I still get to play it, but I don't think it did.
Okay,
game of the year.
Somebody get on that for me. Just tweet yes or no. Tweet it.
Hashtag Riley dead. Hashtag Riley alive.
Yeah, just do that. But yeah, I don't mean to undercut it. I'm excited, but I don't even have a PS4 yet, so it's kind of like that's neat when I get to that.
You have PS3 though.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
So that's another system that is plagued by PS2 backward compatibility.
Oh, you don't have to tell me.
This is exciting though. I'm gonna be interested to see what the library of games is. I know it's gonna start probably small, and then expand from there. But if they can really develop this into something, like a lot of people who are there are saying this is feeling like a moment with like future of gaming feels.
Oh yeah,
because
awesome.
if this takes off, like there is the likelihood that this may be the last console generation. As long as you have a machine that's good enough to do the cloud streaming, if that takes off and becomes an industry standard, you never know.
Do you think this crazy theory, but do you think maybe Nintendo's being lazy with their virtual console because maybe they're working?
Absolutely being lazy with their virtual console.
Well, I know that's not the statement. Do you think they're doing that because they're trying to do something like this? Maybe.
No.
You don't think that? Yeah, they're.
I don't think they're that forward thinking. I think they're
that's true.
They're comfortable with what they're doing. I don't think they take big chances with the technology. They can't even get online multiplayer right for some of their games, or they choose not to do it. So I don't think that's something they're looking at. I would love it if they would.
Pokemon Bank got delayed. Did we talk about all that eShop stuff Christmas?
No.
I couldn't do anything, man.
Oh god.
You're right. You got the Wii U, and then the eShop was down. Yeah, and they delayed Pokemon Bank. See, they can't even figure out their own stuff.
I think the worst part was like they came out with an update for Pokemon, and I'm like, you can't do anything because you need the new update. I'm like, oh, all right. The eShop is down. Oh, all right. Didn't want to trade anyway.
The worst part that was good. The worst part was people who got the console, like the 3DS bundles with the digital code to download their game. They couldn't play anything.
The Wind Waker Wii U's, yeah.
Yep.
Oof. Yeah, Nintendo's not doing anything like this.
No.
I can say with pretty high certainty. But it's a really cool thing to have. Also at CES, our third headline here is the Steam machines. We, have companies now starting to announce the different bundles, and they're pricey.
Yep.
They are pricey.
It's not worth getting.
I mean, the most reasonable ones are as expensive as an Xbox One right now, and then you're not having as good of specs as other Steam machines.
I don't think you have as good of specs as the Xbox One.
No. And then, Valve isn't releasing their own ones because they're just trying to make all these deals with, why not? Make that money.
This is gonna bomb.
I'm sorry, what?
This is gonna bomb.
Okay. I thought you said just get a bomb or just get a bong, and I'm like, whoa, tones.
You've never once called me that.
I have. You would need to check your text messages more.
Oh, okay.
I think that if you are in the market for something like this, at the way these current prices are, just make or buy a gaming PC.
It's gonna be well, I mean, this is buying a gaming PC, just you can't do the PC bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Linux-based Steam OS, and I know a lot of people like Linux out there, and you can definitely do other things with Linux, and Steam OS, it is customizable. But for those of us who are used to PC, and all the Steam games that run on Windows PC already, just get a good PC that you can use other utilities like game streaming on there. I don't think there's necessarily something at the moment built in for these Steam boxes to stream your PC games.
You can do lots of stuff with a PC that you can't.
Absolutely.
You can do podcasts. You can watch
Top 10
porn.
Videos.
Mm-hmm. You can't watch porn on this thing.
But you could on a PC.
Yep.
That's a selling point.
I'm doing it right now.
Top 10 list of porn.
You're watching porn?
No. Not right now.
Slooshy Part 2.
Oh, God.
I mean, if you want to
just load up the live stream and somehow it's me instead of you somehow.
Yeah, I somehow hack into your monitor too. I mean, if you want to take a look at these, specs for these Steam OS, Steam boxes, Steam machines, Steamblograms, feel free to. But
are you done?
Steam Twitters,
okay.
Steam books, Tamblegrams. I think if you're in this market and you want something to connect to your big screen, just get a PC.
What was that noise you made? Like I'm just pandering to this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at it. Look at the PC there.
Yeah.
Any other, things that came out of CES that you think are worth mentioning?
I don't know what it was before you showed me this out loud, bro.
Our hilarity of the week.
I suppose.
We have a National Hockey League team in the Dallas Stars that their PA guy who plays all the different music, once the hockey fights start, he plays video game music.
Mm-hmm.
And it started with Guile's theme.
Yes.
Well, that worked.
Because Guile's theme goes with everything.
That's exactly why it worked.
Then he also put the Punch-Out theme during another fight.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm trying to think of what other video game songs would be great for hockey fights or other sports things.
Oh, Final Fantasy VII's battle theme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any RPG battle theme.
Really?
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Really?
Pokemon Wild Pokemon Battle. Dude.
Throw in the Smash Brothers theme.
Yeah.
Start singing along. I'll be the moth.
Somewhat. There's so many responses in this article, but I think my favorite's the Duck Hunt music. By the way, my favorite little musical detail in Mario 3D World is the little slot machine levels are the level select from Mario 2.
Yeah.
Like that is random as hell, but it fits.
It definitely does work. I don't know, leave us a comment on the Show Me News forums here for our podcast if you come up with any other video game themes that would work really well for this. Oh, Kind King's posting in the Twitch chat here on twitch.tv/showmeyournews. Other things from CES, you have 4K TVs.
Was that the thing where Michael Bay was...
He did have a thing at the Samsung press conference.
I've seen that. I take it back. I've seen that.
Michael Bay freaked out at the teleprompter not working, and he couldn't even answer questions about directing and his...
Yeah.
You mean he exploded on stage?
Yeah, that was the headlines were overblown.
Yeah.
He just kind of was awkward.
Pretty much.
I don't really blame the dude.
Well,
but
he
I
doesn't
do
have
find
any
it,
acting talent for himself either.
I do find it... I hear most directors take acting too. Well, I find it pathetic that it's like, okay, well, tell us about your art form, and he's like, I can't. It's like, really, dude? Come on.
He's been doing other public speaking engagements too. It's not like he gets nervous doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
But I mean, unplanned stuff, I get it. That too. I get both sides, really.
Other stories in the story pool. The Steam Winter Sale ended. I didn't go as crazy as last year, so that's good. Improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Although I got, what's the best game I probably got? Saints Row 4 I got. And so I'm excited to play that one. I finally got Skyrim because the thing with everything in it was down to $20, so that was reasonable.
No.
But I don't know, it's going to be a long time before I play it, so.
Do the Ross run.
Yeah.
That was great. Do Macho Man Randy Savage Dragons at least.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
One of the more interesting things to come out of CES, I think, is talk of Google's new video codec. I think it's the VP9 codec, and this tab is loading, so it's taking a while. But there are rumors that there may be, low bandwidth 4K streaming starting soon. Which is good because then with this new codec that YouTube is starting to put out, H.264 has been the standard for a long time now. But they're claiming that this VP9 codec would be about the same quality as H.264, but about half the file size.
Oh.
Which means, less bandwidth, be able to cram in more quality in there, and that'd be very good. And not just for, YouTube streaming and all of that, but we're talking about now cloud-based gaming, Netflix streaming, all of these things where we're relying on internet video streaming. When the demand is going up and you want the bandwidth to go down, invent a new codec. This would be interesting to see happen. It's right now in the rumor stages, but if it eventually comes to fruition, you're hearing it here first. That would be exciting.
I'm interested in 4K, but I want to see a visual difference too. Like, I want to see it, like next to, because I feel like HD is already like insane. It's like, how do we like? You go to tube TVs to HD, that's like a very clear difference. It's like the whole PS3, PS4. It's like, that looks a little shinier, I guess.
Well, there's also the difference between 4K and Ultra HD. Yes, there's a difference. And it's just like HD, DVD, and Blu-ray all over again, but more of a digital format. So 4K is going to be more of the broadcast standard.
And no one can afford any of it.
Well, yeah, but it's, I think, 4,096 by 2160 pixels. So that's big. But then Ultra HD is it's something less, like 3860 by 2160 or something like that. Technically, no. They're trying to say that it is because consumers can't tell the difference, really. Because it's just a matter of, not as wide. But 4K has a wider aspect ratio.
I just don't see the need for this kind of stuff. Like, I feel like some of this stuff's just not gonna, like, oh, you need to buy new TVs. It's like, no, mine looks great. I really don't really want one.
Yeah. I have a nice TV. I haven't used it in like months though.
Yeah.
It's an HD TV, but I only have one HD device, and I'm not running anything on it right now. So
I'm pretty happy with my projector. I'm gonna roll with that for a while.
I could not play Project M on a projector. Thank you.
But that's up to 1080p. So no 4K yet because 4K projectors are ridiculous, and it just happened. So, but yeah, so that's the thing. 4K and Ultra HD. Consumers can't really tell the difference, but if you go by pixel size, there is a difference.
I need to go in 10 minutes, by the way.
Oh,
I was trying to say that in the chat, but you weren't paying attention.
You were trying to be all covert, but everyone heard you typing through the stream.
Real quick then.
Nobody.
Sorry. Alien Isolation. They're making another Alien game.
Right.
But this
you know how mad I got because I just woke up and looked at Twitter and it's like Alien Isolation. I'm like, a new movie? And it's like, oh, damn
this one might be good though. And then Evolve.
The last one was supposed to be good.
Evolve is a new multiplayer game from the creators of Left 4 Dead. Oh, and there's also a really dumb Bravely Default thing happening with a controversy of censorship of these 15-year-old and then 18-year-old and clothing. And if you're complaining about that, who the fuck cares?
Why is that so important?
Why is that a thing? Why is that even a deal?
Why are you a thing?
So there are people bitching about that, and that's pathetic. They really shouldn't be. Moving on then. Out recently is Dr. Luigi. Dr. Luigi? Chibi Robo Photo Finder.
I don't know if I've gotten to tell this joke since that Dr. Luigi thing came out, but I'm just like, he hasn't come out as a doctor because he's actually been in medical school. Mario's just like dressing up.
Nice. Assassin's Creed Liberation HD doesn't come out until Tuesday, actually. We were planning on having this episode next week, but next week is Apex.
Yes.
And so that can't happen.
I'll be gone.
I'll
be gone. Everyone will be watching streams. It'll be fun.
That Assassin's Creed game's coming out soon, though, on Tuesday. Really quick soapboxes. Game of the Year Awards show. Fire Emblem Awakening is your 2013 Game of the Year.
I'm perfectly okay with this.
I think it's a good Game of the Year. I'm a little salty because of my experience with it, and I may go back to it later. But I know I got Sword Hunter the game, and he's close to end game. He's been really enjoying it, so I'm glad he is. It's a good game to kind of, I guess, separate our community from what everyone else thinks. And that game did pretty well in terms of how it did. I think 6 of 9 awards. It's not the Batman Arkham City domination.
Yeah,
but that did well. musical numbers were a lot of fun. I want to thank a lot of the SMYNs for making bits. That helped a lot. Moon Prison Power Hour had their 3-parter. Major Moses did the courtroom bit. Super, you helped with the mini edition. You did Superfluous.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony, I don't know if you got around to listening, but
I have not yet, and I'm really pissed off about it.
Yeah.
But I really just want to. I kind of want to watch it too because I noticed you did stuff visually.
Oh,
so I kind of just want to sit one day and watch all of it. But
we got it in 2 parts on our YouTube channel.
It's definitely longer than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh yeah.
And Decaf and Halo Shade did quite the interesting Superplex bit. It was enjoyable. I think you'll like it.
Call outs.
There you go.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Basically, this show, every year, it feels like, I can do it. We can kind of put it all together and, make it happen. We got to figure out a better way to do that next year because it feels like so much work every year, and I'm really glad it's done. And I still need to take some time to distance myself a little bit from it because it was just a lot of work. But when it was the 2.5-hour show and it's packed to the brim, I don't think there's a bad moment in the show. I think it's one of the best ones you've done yet. Plus, I did the PowerPoint, so we had a visual aspect to the live stream. That helped with the stream there.
I liked you throwing the chat room.
Yeah, we had the chat room as well. So
yeah,
kind of
we should do that on these shows.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Not that we're too busy right now, but I mean,
Right.
Well, I mean, with that one in particular, I was running the PowerPoint, so I couldn't participate as much in the chat, and I couldn't really see, as much of what was happening in the chat. I was reading it, but in case I had missed anything, I wanted it to be archived in a way. Though Twitch does have a 30-second. Twitch has a 30-second delay, so that kind of showed a bit there. But anyway, Game of the Year Awards show I think turned out really well. I hope the community really enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun. But we got to find a way to spread the work and spread the wealth next year.
Oh yeah.
Tony.
Okay. I'm so excited about this, and these two guys won't give a shit. But dude, this is kind of a big deal just for media in general. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so WWE announced the WWE Network, which we kind of knew about. They were hyping this big announcement this week, and they used this logo, and we're like, okay, it's WWE Network. They talked about it briefly last year, and it was just the new network, and it was crazy dubstep, promos for a few months. It's okay. And we just thought it was just going to be a channel, and it turns out it's going to be a Netflix-like app for $9.99 a month, which was surprised. We heard $15 a month, so this was already whoa, that's an improvement, and it's more than what we thought. Since it's an app, we thought it was just gonna be a channel with some new content and some stuff. Here's what we thought originally, and this is a big deal. The pay-per-view's $50, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
okay.
lot.
Now, if you get this, you get all the pay-per-views.
You talk about cost savings right away.
Dear God. You the thing with this is, and I completely understand, I'm not upset by it at all. I think it's fine. You have to commit to 6 months of it if you order it, and that's because they don't want people to get it for one pay-per-view and bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. I think that's totally cool. The thing that surprised us was we thought we were still gonna have to pay for Mania full price, and they're like, no, you get WrestleMania too. It's crazy. That is a crazy. And I was looking at the how much they made for this their third biggest pay-per-view of the year, and someone was like, okay, so they made that much money, they have to share this much money with pay-per-view providers and stuff. And then they were like, okay, so this many people watch Raw every week. If they get it was 4.54 million, and they were like, if they get the 0.54 million to buy this, they make more money than pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and they were like, that's not a crazy number to make either. That's
all
not
on demand too, right?
Yeah, you can. And here's the other crazy thing. We just expected, they'll air some stuff. It's every Raw and SmackDown, every pay-per-view, every WCW Nitro, every ECW event. As far as we know, I know it's at least all the pay-per-views. I don't know how they're gonna do all the Raws because that's like over 1,000 episodes.
Those are letters.
What?
I remember WCW.
WCW, yeah, that was like the rival company for a while. Here's the thing, WCW was like, I don't know how far back anyone even knows about that, but that was like
Goldberg.
NWO. Goldberg, yeah, it was all that. But that company goes back like 50 years. And when they went under, Vince bought them. And it was more so, and it's for this when you think about it in the grand scheme, they have all that footage. They have all that footage of like wrestling history, like the whole like that belt's lineage and stuff. So they have all that footage. They have all their footage. They have all of ECW's footage, which was this other little fun company for a while. And they have just hours upon hours of content at their disposal. And I was wondering, I thought it would be cool if they like did this SNL thing on Netflix, you know, where they just throw all the Raws on there. They took it a step further. They're like, we got enough content to just do this ourselves.
Oh, well, there you go.
And the big thing about it though is like with cable kind of on the downfall, with just like, oh, you have to get this package and get all these channels. WWE's like really sticking it to them. Like the cable networks are like pissed right now because they're like, oh, well, you want to do pay-per-views on our stuff, but we're really reevaluating that now if you think you can just do it yourself. And it's just that old fogey, like, oh, old ways, you should do it this way stuff. And it's like, no, people want content differently now. This changes like more than just, you know, WWE. It's awesome. And let me tell you too, like, it's good for casual fans who just want to watch pay-per-views. And there's such a disconnect from like casual fans to like smart fans who just like love wrestling, like academically and just all
Like
this crazy
you.
stuff. Like me.
Them smart fans.
And no one is upset because
Pat yourself on the back.
oh yeah, all the casual fans are happy because of the pay-per-views, and all the nerds are like, we have access to everything. So everyone is excited, like mutually. It's awesome, and it's a good
not
price.
on Wii U.
It's not on Wii U. That's a bummer too. Yeah. That's kind of I don't know why. But yeah, this is like UFC. I think just came out with a subscription service similar to this, and it's like not anywhere near. Somebody like commented, "This is what UFC's subscription service should be." Also, we can't watch all the football games in 2014, and that pisses me off. You gotta pay $300 to watch all the NFL. No, stop it. This is awesome. It's a game changer. And I'm happy about it, at least just purely on what it stands for on this aspect.
I'm
But I
happy
hope
for your wallet.
Yeah, that too. Oh my God, dude. Like, it's a 6-month commitment. You would have to pay 6 months to like equal one pay-per-view.
Yep.
Like, that's awesome. It's so awesome. And I'm not even gonna get cable when I move out now, probably, because it's just like, okay, that's most of the live stuff I watch, and the internet exists for everything else. But yeah, I'm so excited about this. If you were wondering how I felt about it, oh my God. Listen to Superplex next in a few weeks, because I'm sure we'll be fanboying about it, but it's awesome. Okay, sorry.
All right. I guess for my soapbox, I'm gonna be running with awesome games done quick,
AGDQ.
or for a little while, the awful games done quick. For a couple of those games there, and oh my God, it has been quite a week. A lot of just like really like all of these are live, and they've gotten so close to world records all the time. Everyone's been really performing like fantastically, and there have been
don't know.
It's Prevent Cancer Awareness. It's a bunch of streaming where you donate for different things, like you want this guy to play Mario in Lost Levels or Luigi in Lost Levels, and you donate towards that, and all the donations go to Prevent Cancer Foundation. So basically, this entire thing is a huge donation charity drive for charity for preventing cancer. And there's been a lot of great stories in there. A lot of huge donations. And then they're all for like speed runs, just fast, getting through a game really fast, and clearing all of Super Metroid in under an hour. They had a 4-person race. They had Doom 2 and Plutonia, and they had they've had Mario Galaxy 2. They've had Majora's Mask. They have all these blocks. I saw Alien Soldier, which I did not expect to see, which it didn't come out in America. It came out in Europe. It came out in Japan. and it's just game by Treasure. If you don't know what Treasure is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you.
Gunstar Heroes, Sin and Punishment.
Gunstar Heroes, yep.
Mm-hmm. Gunstar Heroes, Sin and Punishment, Alien Soldier. Really impressive game. If you don't know what it is, check it out.
They're on their last
it's just,
day today, but
yeah,
they're gonna have all their archives.
Right, they're gonna have all their archives. A lot of it's gonna get uploaded to YouTube, which actually leads into my YouTube recommendation. So I'm just gonna let that kind of meld itself together there.
Go ahead.
My favorite thing was Super Punch Out blindfold run. He was blindfolded, played all of Super Punch Out, and he won the game.
The guy who played Punch Out got to Mike Tyson.
Right.
And at least landed some punches on him, but that was really impressive too.
Yeah, that one's more RNG and way less forgiving than Super Punch Out's final. Because Mike Tyson is one punch, you're done.
Sounds super lousy too.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of RNG in it. So it's really just not fair.
Random number generator, yeah.
Yes. And Super Punch Out, the last guy is a little bit more forgiving. Not like he needed it because he perfected it.
Mm-hmm.
I got the accidental frame 1 counter. He says.
Yeah, on the subreddit.
Accidentally.
On the speedrun subreddit, they're going to have probably a sticky thread for a while of this AGDQ 2014. Just a collection of links for all of those. So that's the place to find it before it goes up on YouTube. And even we're watching it right now. They're finishing up the Paper Mario.
Yeah.
They're right now up to.
I've seen some of that, and it's crazy. They just like jump through houses and stuff.
Yeah.
They're right now up to 695,000.
Yeah.
Raised for charity.
Their goal was 500,000.
That's fantastic.
And I think I'm gonna end this with my favorite quote. It was actually during the blindfolded run. He just kind of like he's about to fight the last boss, and he's just like, I can't believe this is real. I thought that was just the best point.
That sounds about right.
This is real.
You want me to?
What's your YouTube?
I'm gonna segue to. They asked Nanny at the Grumps panel that if he was gonna fight Iron Mike again, and he said they were talking about doing a boss rush episode, all the stuff they couldn't beat before, but he said he would give it a shot. So I got 2. One just for pure fun's sake. Go watch the Game Grumps panel at MagFest this year because it was great. It was the best. I watched the JonTron panel, the Steam Train Ninja Sex Party panel, like good stuff. That one had the most energy and like the best questions, and it was just Danny was just awesome. Danny's become one of my favorite people ever. Like,
yeah,
it's really crazy to think like how much I love John. It's like, man, that's quite the shoes to fill. But Danny's just awesome. So
he
great.
owned it.
He owned it, yeah.
And
somebody gave him a Big Sam action figure.
Nice. Oh, hey, Big Sam.
Yeah, he did too. But yeah, it's that. I also want to say this intellectually wise to watch this. I think the people are called Super Bunny Hop. I tweeted about this. Look up Super Bunny Hop, Metal Gear Solid 2 Critical.
Oh yeah.
Very, very interesting, and it covers pretty much why I adore MGS2 artistically. Just definitely look at that.
It's a long watch though.
It's a long watch, but it's totally worth it. There's a MGS3 and a few other ones that's worth a watch. Super, don't watch them because you ain't played them.
Like half an hour ish. But yeah,
Super.
That would be really awesome.
Oh yeah.
If I were to recommend a speedrun, one that I've seen, I saw all of Super Mario Galaxy 2, which was great, but really long. The best one I saw, though, was Metroid Prime. Because they got they got one of the lead designers from Retro who worked on Metroid Prime to call in. Zoid, yeah.
Zoid CTF, by the way.
He called in and was giving kind of some different perspectives on Metroid Prime while this guy was going through it in less than an hour and a half. That was great. But if I had to recommend one video, it'd be these people who were playing Call of Duty Ghosts on Xbox One, and they made their username Xbox Sign Out. So for the people who were referring to the individual, like, oh hey, Xbox Sign Out. No. Because Xbox Sign Out brings up the Connect prompt. So, do you really want to sign out? And so like, oh no, close. No, don't do it. It's some amusing trolling.
Yeah.
But yeah, that aside from that, Metroid Prime, AGDQ, Xbox sign out trolling. And that's it. We've got through a lot on this list. We're doing some traveling in the next couple weeks, so it's gonna be crazy.
I'm gonna drive 2,000 miles. Yay!
I'm gonna fly to New Mexico, come back, and then fly to Daytona Beach.
And Tony's going to.
I'll be here.
Doing that work.
I'm gonna be late.
Yes,
oh, whatever.
Oh,
it's show me your news.
It's a restaurant. I just sit people. They don't notice I'm not there.
Well, now I'm hungry. With that, I'm Yoko.
I'm Super.
I'm Tony.
And we're out.
Let's go to Logan's.
Yeah!